fellow dreamers. It is that time again, time for Dreamers Live podcast. Wow, what are we talking about today? This is the second part of our list, 10 things I wish I could give you, 10 moments of inspiration, 10 moments of life lessons. So this is the second part, 6 through 10, and I think you're really going to enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to hearing what you would add to the list. So let's get started with the conversation.
This podcast is a presentation of Pioneer Dream, celebrating 30 years of moving stories for our corporate, nonprofit, and entertainment partners.
Okay, let's start that again. Okay, all right. Podcast friends, welcome back to the Dreamers Live podcast. We are here. I am joined, as always, by Anjanette. Anjanette, say hello.
Hello.
And we're so thrilled to be coming to you live to digital recording.
I like that, live digital recording.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
It's from the Pioneer Dream Loft in the heartland of America, the Bible Belt of America, our lair. And we're just excited to be back and excited to be inside today, to be frank with you.
It's dang hot out there, guys.
I don't know if you've heard of either summer, which is a new thing,
I feel like people have heard of summer.
or the heat dome. And you know what? Like when we were coming up, there were movies about the dome. And they were always
What?
like, yeah.
What do you mean?
It would be like Thunderdome or something. But whenever you mention dome, it necessitates like a post-apocalyptic violent scenario.
Well,
and so to
right.
talk about the heat dome is not far off. I feel like that is exactly where we are in this moment. Like
It's a heat
there
dome.
are people who are making decisions right now about how they want to move forward with civilization based on the heat we're in right now.
You feel like
Oh,
that?
yeah. They're going to
Oh, my gosh.
carving up water rights and
wow.
getting their weapons together and soldering things. And
Well, like you say, it's super hot, but at least it's a wet heat.
It's a
so
wet-
the humidity is up.
So if you have intentions of breathing today, just put that aside.
Just pack your inhaler, guys.
Find oxygen somewhere.
Oh, my
This
gosh.
might revive the movie industry because if you get to a dark house and just
Sounds
watch, oh man.
Some cool air.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'd rather be here.
Well, yes. And for those who cannot see us, which is everyone, we are in the recording studio, but I have made upgrades. I have put,
noticed.
it's almost like a theatrical curtain against this one back wall.
You did a very nice job with that.
Thank you. And
it looks good.
I could build a house faster than I could hang curtains.
What
There's
took you so
something,
long?
Well, it's just cramped.
They're
and
just
there's-
nice black curtains.
I know, but the hanging mechanism
Yes.
is just a
But
whole
what
deal.
happened when I walked in and saw it? I
You
went,
gave you gave a big inhale. Yeah, absolutely.
hey, we have more soundproofing and it looks fashionably acceptable.
I feel like I sound better. I know that's to be true.
You look better.
Thank you. That's because I'm hiding behind the curtain.
You
When
and Mr.
last
Oz.
we met, we did part one of a podcast, and it was called 10 Things I Wish I Could Give You.
Okay.
And the premise behind this podcast is sort of like a pre-nostalgia moment where you're thinking about, in our case, our daughter, thinking about what life might look like when she's living past us or without us or beyond us.
And
or
that's where
whatever.
you created the term pre-nostalgia that we're still pretty
Right.
sure doesn't exist.
It's a warm, fuzzy feeling about something that hasn't happened yet.
It's a fuzzy feeling about things that might be
So-
looked back on fondly.
Yeah, so instead of recollecting about something and thinking all kinds of
Premonition.
no, not a premonition. It's more like thinking like if you think back on your childhood and
Yeah.
where you went to school and what your home life was like, and you can get kind of nostalgic and kind of warm and fuzzy and sentimental
Yeah.
about that. I'm having those experiences about something that has not happened yet. Which is our child as an adult
Yes.
reflecting on the great wisdom that I have left her over the years.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, I have that occasionally. I will think like our life is a little bit different than the normal.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you'll feel bad like I'm out playing a music gig or whatever.
Yes.
It's never super late or anything, but
Yeah.
we're taking her with us or we're breaking down equipment and this and that. And I'm thinking, first I feel bad. And then I think, you know what? Someday maybe she'll say, I used to go, my mom used to play music and we'd do this or that.
Yeah,
and I get to help her
right.
and see all these people. It was really cool.
She's going to remember this moment.
Yeah. So
there's a handful.
pre-nostalgia.
There are a handful of things you do, and you think, oh, she's going to hold on.
She's
to
going
this.
to remember
She's
this.
Gonna remember
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Okay. Pre-nostalgia.
So I had 10 things. There's more than 10 things, but I just kind of consolidated down to 10 things for the sake of this exercise. And So the last time we met, I gave you the 1 through 5.
Okay.
5 things. And these are kind of like, you go through life, and some would say life is a journey. And
who was it that once said that?
So when you go on this journey, you go through some hard things and some good things, and you witness things, and you evaluate those things, and you say, "Oh, this is kind of a life lesson, and now I can apply this to my life, and it will make some things easier or better. I won't repeat these mistakes. I won't, do that kind of thing." And then you think, "Oh man, if I could give this to someone, it would make their life so much better, so much easier. They wouldn't be starting from zero. They would have some benefit to it." So like last time we talked, one of the things we talked about is there are 2 kinds of people who
love Neil Diamond and people who don't.
Yes,
right?
But that's actually, there's only one kind of person in that group, and that's the people who recognize that man as a national treasure. So I don't even want to get into it.
Hey,
I don't even want to argue with it.
My heart light is on right now.
So, like, for example, there are 2 kinds of people in the world. There are people who blame, and there are people who admit. So there are people who own their mistakes and people who always blame somebody else. And when you own your mistakes, that's your first chance at you can't heal from something or change something you can't admit happens or happened. So that's one of those kind of life lessons.
Okay.
So this is part 2 of that conversation, and it's 6 through 10. So if you did not join us on the last podcast, part 1, I would encourage you to go back. It's not that they're chronological, but you'll want 1
Are
through.
you going to recap the quick?
No.
That's my
enticement. That's my enticement for someone to go back and listen.
Oh yeah, it's a total mystery.
Episode.
So we're just saying this is 6 through 10.
Yeah.
So if you don't know 1 through 5, you
will
better
be
stop
lost.
and go back.
This is a little bit like pre-calculus, and now you're in calculus, and you don't even have the
prerequisites.
It's not like that at all.
Prerequisitional.
So I will. I'll read these. They kind of become like there's probably going to be a column or something in the next month, maybe in July or something like that.
You'll
but
expand
I'll
upon
read
this.
these kind of, and then they're kind of rough. But then we can talk about them as we go. So
cool.
Number 6 on my list of 10 things I wish I could give you.
Hit me with a nugget of wisdom.
All life is God-breathed. So it's obviously no secret that here in Oklahoma, we are in the bedazzled belt buckle of the Bible Belt. And
it's jazzy.
It is jazzy, and there's a lot happening here. And so within this, there are a lot of Christians around. And you'll know them because they will just tell you, I am a Christian.
Many of them will.
And so if you're of that tradition, and we just don't like to talk about it.
We'd rather show you.
If you're of that tradition, then you believe that literally all life is God breathed. We are animated with the presence or the spirit or the breath of God.
Yeah.
That's what brings us to life. And so if you believe that, then we have to believe that all of those lives are God-breathed. All of those lives
Even the non-Christian ones?
Even the non-Christian ones, your barista, your waiter, the politician.
Even immigrants?
Even immigrants, even politicians on the other side of the aisle. All life is God-breathed, even the people coming across the border. And so
Love it.
So I kind of read this. It's like there's no secret that we live in a Bible Belt. So we hold these truths that we should approach every living being, the bank teller, the barista, the Walmart worker, the politician on the other side of the aisle, the homeless, the immigrant, and the foreigner, as someone who's been made alive by the breath of God. So there's no sliding scale on the value of human life. Each of us possesses the same divine, radiant breath of God.
Cool.
So if we approach everybody with that value, if we see everybody as our own Constitution would say, as all men are created equal, all men, all women, all people, all humans are created equal regardless of your zip code, then that is the way we should approach them. So you can make legislation and you can make policy and you can make friendships and you can hang out with people and you can do whatever you want in that. But in that, we have to see and believe that everyone has this equal footing, that, as we say, that a baby born here is not more valuable than a baby born in China or in Russia or in Ukraine or in Gaza. And so when you see the barista at that level and you treat them with that level of respect, it is transformative.
Yeah.
And so that's a life lesson that.
Yeah, that's cool. My brother, I think it was, said one time, and I thought this was a really great way. He says, I'm going to try to live my life in such a way that I treat everyone like they're a rock star.
Yes.
And I loved that.
And he does. That is how he approaches it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jared.
That every person that you encounter has that value.
Yes.
And if people say they believe what they believe, then each life is a reflection and a creation of God.
Yeah.
And then that's what we do. So we want our daughter to know and feel that way about people, and she does.
Yeah.
I feel like.
And here's a cheat on this too.
What is it?
When you treat people like that, you become incredibly popular.
Yeah.
People really love being around
They
you.
need to feel loved,
Yes.
and when you give them that love, and
it opens up
want to be
doors,
treated.
and
Yeah.
they want to do things for you, and
Yeah.
they want to give you the best seat in the house, and they want to, it's not why we do any of those things, but
side benefit.
but this idea of treating people like to be valued. People like to not feel insecure or judged or put down or less than, or to become self-aware of themselves in that way. And so, it will do remarkable things in your life.
I think it's fun for me sometimes. I tend to always, I like to look for the person in a situation that seems left out.
Yeah,
or,
you do. You're good at that.
Well, I didn't mean it to compliment myself, although shout out to me.
But if we're here, let's do it.
I'm just saying, I guess maybe I'm just wired that way because I will kind of see the person that doesn't get any thanks or praise, and I just want to give that to them. I want them to be recognized, and it's a cool way to live, to try to seek those people out. So I'm sure I could get better at it. I'm going to try to do better this afternoon.
All right.
Okay.
Number 7, gratitude is a gift. This is a lot of these last.
It's
Yes.
a popular one.
Yeah. Well,
Right now.
Actually, this is a more difficult one for me because
Why?
you
You're
go
grateful.
well. You learn a lot of lessons kind of the hard way, or you make some observations that are sometimes more revealing than others, and so I became aware. Actually, through reading a book, because I'm a reader.
You are
and,
so well read.
So within reading this book, I became aware of what has actually probably been a lifelong struggle. I'm just now seeing it for the first time and kind of seeing the ramifications of it for the first time. And this struggle for me, which is a near fatal
This is your
struggle.
tragic flaw?
is and nearly every person that I meet or I'm introduced to or that I see or that I come together with, I struggle at some level with envy.
Really?
I see them and I think, gosh, what would it be like to look like that, or to be built like that, or to have that kind of money?
You don't say those things a lot. This is
I
an
don't.
internal struggle.
This is an internal thing. This is what I'm thinking in my inner dialogue that I'm saying out loud in my inner dialogue.
My inner dialogue has become an outer dialogue.
And what would it be like to drive that car, to be in that relationship, to have that family, to live in that place? It's just a constant weighing myself against someone else in a sense that is always what's deadly about envy. And we've talked about this before in the podcast. So if you haven't heard that podcast, go back and listen to it.
Go back to that one.
What's deadly about envy is it always takes you out of the present. It always takes you out of what you have.
Okay.
And causes you to focus on what you do not have.
Right.
And it has no sense or place of happiness or contentment or joy.
Yeah.
There's no upside of envy.
Yeah.
So when you are envious of someone, your total focus is on lack.
Yeah.
Your total focus. And then you have a certain level of resentment towards the other people because there's a jealousy, underlying jealousy and underlying want for something that they have that you don't have.
And I think envy is an internal battle in that, like, I know you very well, and I don't think you act on that very often. However, if that's a struggle you're having in your mind, it's stealing your joy and gratitude for what you do have.
Right.
And so, it sucks to be you. That's
know.
hard. I mean, struggling
It's
with envy.
very difficult. I've been trying to tell you for years how hard it is to be me.
I think everybody struggles with envy on some level.
Yeah. Well, we're led to believe that somehow those people are living better lives. That if I was built like that, I would be happier.
Oh, dude,
if I
I'm
was,
jealous of
if I
people's
had,
metabolism.
If I had that money, I could do whatever I want. If I was driving that car, wouldn't I be more comfortable?
If I was
living
tall, I could have some chocolate.
I wish I was taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish
too.
I had a girl that was good looking. I'd call her.
Hey, you can call
sorry.
me anytime.
I didn't see you there.
I'm
sorry.
right here.
Yeah. So anyway,
Okay.
that's
So
it.
gratitude.
So gratitude is to me, the polar opposite of envy. Gratitude is instead of looking at lack, gratitude is looking at have. This is what I have. Isn't it nice to have this? Isn't it nice to have this health? I am not necessarily as healthy or physically able as I was when I was in my 20s, which was just 10 years ago. But I'm much healthier than most. And I am as healthy as I can be in this moment. So rather than lose this moment, rather than lose this enjoyment of how healthy I am now for want of something else, I'm going to be grateful for what I have. I'm going to maximize what I have. I'm going to use my body as much as I can now so that I don't have to look back and say, well, I wish I had spent more time walking, running, exercising, being friendly, being active, going to that place, whatever it is. Yeah. And so lots of us have very real physical issues and all that kind of stuff. But if we maximize the things we do have, and then the reality of it is, once we get into gratitude, we become aware that there's so much of our lives that would be the envy of somebody else.
Yeah, that's so true.
They would envy your family. They would envy your income. They'll envy the country you live in, the state you live in, all these things.
Your fine style.
I'm saying.
I know. Well, so what are some ways that people can express gratitude?
Well, I think
how do you do it?
I think you got to do it verbally out your mouth.
You got to say the words out your mouth.
You got to say it.
Yeah. So you can think it, which isn't bad.
Yeah, and it's okay. Your thought world is okay, but it's saying things out loud will then I think begin to not only speak that out into the ethos and atmosphere and everything else. It will encourage other people to do the same because gratitude is contagious.
Yes.
And then it will begin to rewire your brain a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you're making a conscious effort to recognize good instead of defaulting to lack or bad. And so it rewires your brain.
Yeah.
And if you get in the habit of looking for good, in the same way like last time we talked about getting in the habit of looking for the good in other people and then telling them about it, that will rewire your brain. And there is, scientifically speaking, as you know I'm wont to do, there is a direct correlation, a direct line between gratitude and happiness or joyfulness. And so, happiness might be fleeting and that kind of stuff, but joy is a deeper level of contentment, a deeper level of happiness. And the more gratitude we have, the happier we become, the more joyful we become, I should say.
I think it's interesting that people refer to practicing gratitude, or maybe that's what we call it, because it's weird, and I wish it weren't this way, but as humans, we're we're wired to think on the negative.
Yes.
It's sort of like, right, when you get up in a day, the thoughts that come naturally are, oh, dang, it's so hot.
Yes.
I wish I didn't have to go to this meeting. I wish I was skinny or my pants are tight or whatever it is.
Right.
Those things come naturally. So the practice, I think, comes in just like you try to do the right thing and go exercise and drink your water and eat the right foods. And those things you have to practice and rewire and say, yes, it is hot. Man, I'm thankful for air conditioning. Yeah. So it's sort of like flipping and turning things. And I think there are days where I'm on the struggle bus and I will kind of say to myself, okay, I'm going to have to turn my gratitude on. Yeah. And then I just will try to start saying, hey, man, I'm so glad we have this cool podcast
and
today.
It's not a fake thing. It's not for the people. It is, as we say with dreamers, that no one defaults to a happily ever after. No one defaults to a happy life. We live intentionally. And so it is about doing that intentionally. It's about making up your mind. This is the kind of person I want to be. This is the kind of person that people want to be around. People like to be around positive, hopeful, encouraging people, especially when they're sincere and not fakes about it.
Yeah,
and when they're not trying to use it to get something from somebody else. So
love it.
Yeah, you're so right. It is the practice of gratitude. Yeah.
Yes, practicing. Okay, that's good.
Okay, number 8. Okay. Don't tell me you love me. This is what I wrote. All you need is love. All I need is the air that I breathe and to love you. Love will keep us together. We love to sing about love.
Yeah.
We love to make movies about love. We love to create art about love, to wear T-shirts printed with love, and even, quote, preach about love. However, the actual act of loving for most of us is much more difficult than a song. So when we poll people across the country, or even across the world, really, love ranks as our highest value.
Really?
But is that really our reality? Is that how I'm living? So the reality is love is easy to say. It's much harder to do. And it is the thing that kind of defines us. So as the band Extreme would tell you,
Yeah.
more than words is all I need to hear to know,
So you're saying
to make love real.
Don't tell me you love me. Show
Yes,
me you love me.
we can do the poetic stuff and sing the songs, but the actual act of love, and how would you kind of define love? What does that look like to you?
That's kind of a big question.
I like your dad's definition of it.
Love?
Your dad's definition of love is like a self-sacrificing concern for someone else.
Yeah, that is really good.
The moment you put someone else kind of above you, even though if it costs you personal comfort or whatever else.
Yeah, love is that deep connection. It's the acceptance for who we are that all of us are after. And it is, I think, the highest of emotions. I mean, when you love someone, it's hard to define, but you would do anything, almost anything for them. And love comes in different forms, just interesting. But it's deep, and it's the stuff that we all need. It's what makes life worth living.
So before we get caught up in the, I would do anything for you, but I won't do that. Meatloaf. No, it's the small things. Yes, we can all think about how I'd give my life for you, and I would lay down and all that kind of stuff.
Romantic
and it's all
when you're
great.
16, sure.
It's all good. That's all fine, and applauds if you do that stuff. But it's really the things. It's like loving someone is seeing them. Loving someone is acknowledging that they are alive and that they're even and equal to you. I think we talk about, that all life is God-breathed, or the idea of seeing the good in someone and telling them. Well, those are all acts of love.
Yes, I love the term acts of love because it is, and you're right, love is work. It's easy when it begins. I mean, the same thing even when romantic love is like that. You feel all these ooey-gooey feelings, and that's great. And of course, I still have so many for you.
Thank
but
you.
I'm saying those things come naturally, and you think, but as time and life gets harder and the circumstances and challenges come, sometimes the feelings shift. They become deeper. But the ease of all of those things isn't the same. And so love does become work. It's the same in having a kid. They're so beautiful when they're babies and they can't talk, and then they start talking. No, I'm kidding. But my point is there's a lot of work to loving, and that's how we show. And your love language, which I find interesting, I guess there's 5 love languages. That's what they say.
No, it's not. Sorry.
They say there's 5. There may be more, but we felt like you didn't have one for a long time. Because it didn't fit into the categories.
I think that is a love language.
You were concerned.
Nothing is a love language.
Concerned about me, but the truth is, you're really good at those. Yours is acts of service. Those we understand that, but it's true.
I'm a giver.
You're not the best at saying you are great at so many things. Whoops.
Wow.
Let me rephrase that situation. I'm so grateful for you.
It's not a natural. I have to focus.
The words do not come easy for you.
Yeah, they're in my brain.
Yes,
I do feel them.
I love you so much. You're so beautiful. But you will make me a protein shake every morning.
Yeah, I'm a recovering undercommunicator.
Yes, but you will load my dishes and not say anything about it, and you will make me a protein shake. And sometimes you'll do something that I really don't want to do for me, and I know those are acts of love. So in a way, you have the most noble love language.
For this, not for me, but for that act of love, that type of love, that love language. In many cases, it's actually with the thought of that person in mind. You do that stuff intentionally. You do that stuff on purpose. It's not like, this is naturally occurring, though sometimes it is. When I do those things, I'm thinking, this would be nice for Anjanette, or this would help.
Anjanette forgets to eat breakfast, so I'm going to make her this, whatever. Yeah, same. Yeah. And the same, when you do things for your kids.
To me, it's love without actions is dead. It's love without being able to act on it and do that thing. Those are just words.
Yeah,
as
that's
right.
Say, love me. It's like when you used to write an essay and they would say, that's a really nice concept. Where's your support?
Yes.
And then I hated that because I'd be like, man, I can just make up some eloquent words here. But they'd be like, what's your supporting evidence? What's going to support the evidence of what you're thinking? And so love is work, but it's good work if you can get it.
Number nine. Someone else is already doing that.
Right.
I'm sorry, audience. Number 9. Fear never runs out. It has been my experience that fear never says enough. when I'm anxious about something and that thing passes, I've never heard fear say, okay, I guess we're done here. No, fear just moves on to the next most captivating, exhausting thing to distract me. Mm-hmm. Fear never runs out. It is perpetually an opportunist, just like envy. And to free yourself from the habit of fear is to partner with joy and ultimately with peace. So, we live in a time where anxiety has been
in the forefront.
Oh my gosh. It's hard to underestimate or under-communicate or understate how significant anxiety has become and its role. And there are lots of factors from that, including what we take in our social media diet and our news diet and everything else. But being aware of the role of fear, being aware of the role of anxiety, being aware that you are nervous about making it to, like, in my case, flying. And you and I have disagreements, differences of, let's say difference of opinion about what time we should get to the airport.
Oh, yeah, you're a bit of a nervous traveler.
And so as we've joked about before, I've been on a lot of flights in my lifetime.
Yeah.
I've never missed a flight.
No, and neither have I.
But I always had the fear of missing a flight. And so we leave at whatever time and we get to the airport.
A little too early for my taste.
But it's not like once I get to the airport
you
and
stop
I'm
being
on time, then you stop being anxious. Well, then it's about getting to the gate, getting
through
the
security.
Luggage dropped off, getting amazed is the thing on time, is the flight on time, are we going to be on time?
Sure.
And then you get on the plane and the plane takes off and you've made it and you're alive still and you're in the air and then you're thinking, what about the transportation when we get on the ground? Will they actually have the car that we reserved?
Yeah.
If I get on the train, will we get to the hotel on time? What's it going to be like to get all this luggage to the hotel? And so all I'm saying is that the anxiety and fear is like a train car.
Yes.
You're standing still and the one train car passes you, well, then the next train car is up next.
Yeah.
And fear never says, oh, well, he was okay with the flight thing. I guess we're okay now. No, it just brings the next thing. We checked that off the list. Okay, here's your next thing that you're afraid of. Here's your next thing.
It's the gift that keeps on giving, Clark.
It's nonstop.
But you got to get up and fight it every day, right?
Yeah. And so if you can master fear and anxiety, and there's a lot of tools for that and how you do that stuff, but that is to make our partnership with joy. It's hard to be joyful when you're anxious and afraid. It's hard to be present in your scenario when you're anxious and afraid. It's hard to enjoy this moment or any other moment. And not only does it suck the life out of you, but it kind of sucks the life out of everybody around you.
If you speak it out your mouth, yes.
Yeah, because they feel that energy.
It gets on you. Yeah, for sure. So that's interesting. So how do you fight fear?
Well, I think it's, all things, it's reprogramming a little bit. So I think gratitude. Acknowledging that the thing that we feared did not happen, and I'm grateful, and we did this, and so you're retraining that mindset. Oh, this didn't happen; it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Trying to remind yourself of truth as much as possible. I think then even occasionally just distracting yourself.
Yeah.
So find conversation, talk about something else, go somewhere else. Make a decision to not check your phone for so many hours or so much time. Try not to look at your watch for so much time, so much hours.
Keeping yourself from information and output that feeds fear to you.
And a lot of us have been through very, very difficult circumstances, but by and large, the majority of our travel and the majority of our life has been without these big issues, these big elements, these big things. And so we can embrace that. And then, you can seek help, I think, through counseling and partners and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think some people are more wired to struggle with fear on a higher level. I think as humans, everyone does.
You kind of have a trick that you try to work through. I don't know.
Oh, remind me of it.
Your trick is go to the worst case scenario.
Oh, yeah, I hit the worst case scenario. That just helps me. Like if it's a medical thing.
Okay, we miss our flight. Then what? And
yeah,
that's it.
Exactly.
So then once you've kind of thought, okay, if we missed our flight, it would be this, this, or
this.
Or
even like in medical situations, if, you got to get an MRI. Okay.
So I have the brain tumors.
So I have the brain tumor.
Yeah.
Most of those are curable with this, or that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's the worst case
I have,
wait.
I have cancer of the imagination. Now what am I going to do?
Hey, listen, I've had cancer of the imagination many
several
times.
times, yes,
But
I
yeah,
know.
sometimes, and I don't stay at the worst case scenario. I just hit that and then work my way back.
Right.
Yeah, that helps
Yes.
me. That's pretty fun. I bet I'm not the only one.
No one of us are the other ones.
Right.
Okay. Number 10, the
Ooh,
last
we
one.
made it.
May the force be with you.
Oh, is that a Star Trek reference?
Oh,
LOL.
my gosh.
I did that on purpose.
People almost pulled off the
Come
side
on,
of the road.
you know I know the difference. That's why I said it.
In my lifetime, I've become exceedingly good at being wrong. Wrong about politics, wrong about religion, wrong about my assumption about history, motives, people, whatever. So for me, having a stable foundation of truth that has been tested over time is essential. So I need a force that is greater than I am, wiser than I am, ever revealing, but always remaining a constant at the same time. So spiritual truths help me in that scenario. So, if you've been a part of Dreamers for any length of time, you know that we're not a spiritual podcast and we don't do that, though we are spiritual beings, and so we just have chosen to not push one thing or another for people.
Although these things do come up from time to time.
Yes, they do. So to me, it's, regardless of your tradition, there are spiritual truths, things that we would find in scriptures or whatever, that have been tested over literally thousands of years. Yeah. And they have been seen to be true for thousands of years. So it's not just somebody with a happy disposition who's just said, let's write these things down. It's people going through the shit and they come up for air and they say, okay, now that I'm on the other side of this, here's what I have seen and what I've learned. And those become the basis for spiritual truths, for scriptures, for proverbs, for all those things. And so as someone who has the ability to be wrong a lot, and I am not the same person intellectually that I was at 20 or at 30. I've grown. I've seen I was wrong about things. I've changed a lot of things. I need some things that are constants, that are true, that have been considered over thousands of years, that I can kind of hold on to and add as kind of pillars in my life to go back to. So the idea of the pillar of forgiveness, the idea of the pillar of love, the idea of the value and pillar and freedom of wisdom as expressed by scriptures, the idea of being quick to listen and slow to speak, the idea of putting people on equal footing and value, all those things have been tested over thousands and thousands of years and been seen through multiple generations to be true. And the reason is because even though the times they are changing, the humanity is not. And the humans have been the same since Ulysses as they are today.
Yeah.
And
we struggle in the same ways, although the circumstances are different. Right. And those truths become a foundation, like the wise men who built this house on the rock, versus things that are always changing.
Shifting, moving, and changing.
There are a handful of tenets that I think you and I believe separately and together that inform and shape the decisions that we make. Yeah. And I'm very grateful for them. I mean, to not have that would be sort of like flying in the wind. Yes. And I'm grateful. That's one of the things I'm grateful for is that background and legacy that we've been given. And I hope that's something that we can pass on and encourage other people around us to find.
And it's hard. I mean, it would be nice to be able to talk about these things without the extra baggage of, what so many of us have done to faith and the practice of faith and the abuse of faith.
We've screwed it up.
We've done a bad job, but that doesn't change the essential properties of that
the
faith.
Goodness of that. Absolutely.
As we've said, I mean, it's at some level, it's the practice of this spirituality. It's the practice of this faith, which has opened my world up as opposed to closing it down. Yeah. It has opened my love up for other people and compelled me to love other people. It's also the thing that has enabled me at some level to love and embrace myself, love myself enough that I could take my eyes off of myself and see other people. And that is a tremendous gift. And so it's hard when everything else, so many other parts of this have been abused, but the reality is it does have a value. It has a lasting value. So we're not pushing one practice over another or any of that kind of stuff, as much as to say that these truths in a moment of flux, in a moment that always feels like things are up and down. They'll think about anxiety or fear. Well, these truths help in that because they're a constant, because there's something bigger than me. I can go back to that truth. I can also recount times when I have employed that truth and it helped me. So that's my story. I was in this place. I employed this truth.
Yeah.
And my situation in my life was better. And that is the story I have now. And I can go back and repeat that so that when I'm in that situation again, I can say, oh, yeah, I was in this moment. And the idea of forgiving this person and letting that go helped me. And I felt better, this, that, the other.
And those things have helped countless people before us.
Yes.
And that brings me a lot of comfort when doubts come in.
Yeah.
Say, we're not the only ones who have been through this.
We, there, as we said, these are scary times for a lot of people in a lot of places. The world has been through scary times before. And the fact that these people went through that and held on to this, and in that moment it was seen to be valuable and worthy of use, that is encouraging to me. And also to know that other people have been through hard times and the world continued on and we lived through it. Okay, well, that's where we are now.
Yeah.
I don't know what the next 10 years will be or 20 or whatever.
Right.
I don't know where we're headed next. I just know that the world has been through bad places before. And actually it came through and things got better and can get better.
Yeah.
And that's my hope in the process.
Mine too.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, it can't be your hope because it's my hope.
Can we share the hope?
I guess.
That's kind of rude.
Whatever.
I mean, share it to me.
That is 10 things I wish I could give you.
That's a good list.
You probably have your own list, dreamers. And gosh, we would really love to hear the things that are on your list. Maybe there's just one thing.
Yeah. What would you add to the list?
Yeah.
Or
if
do
you
you
were
have
going to
your own?
give something to someone, what would it be? Maybe like, gospel things like don't swim in 30 minutes after you've eaten. So that's
you're a lifeguard, you're a former lifeguard.
Yeah.
So is that true? Like
I think they were cramped? No, they were just trying to make room for people in the pool. It's never. I don't know that any of that's ever. It's like don't smoke when you're swimming. I mean, whose rule is that?
I mean, that seems logical because the cigarette's going to go out anyway, right?
So you have something on your list. What would you add? If you're responsible for adding one thing to a list of things you wish you could impart to other people, funny or real or whatever, text us. Let us know. Email us, text us, message us on these, and let us know the thing you would add to this conversation.
What's on your list? And you also might consider, if you're feeling very reflective, why don't you make a list that you'd love your kids or a friend to have or somebody that you could share with. You can either do the one and text it to us or make your own list.
Or get together with, this is a great cocktail party. Get together with a cocktail party or a coffee group or something like that and explain the premise of this. We're going to all write down one thing to add to a list that we want to give the next generation.
Oh, that's a great party idea,
What's the thing you would add? Do that and just see where that thing goes.
Yeah.
It'll be well worth the conversation. You'll learn more about it.
Lemonade in the list.
Something like that.
Something like that. I can't think of a cocktail that starts with L right now. So
anyway. We'll work on that out. We'll take your answer off here.
Let's workshop that and we'll get back to everybody.
Dreamers, we always love being with you. We always appreciate these conversations and appreciate that you take time to be part of it with us. We love hearing from you, either in person, on person. That's in person? Inappropriate.
I don't know.
Person. Anyway, guys, we're so grateful to have these conversations with you guys, and we're looking forward to the next one. And until then, please like this podcast. I hate saying these things, but it's so important.
You've got to say it.
But we do. We need you guys to share the podcast.
We can't change the entire world if you don't share the podcast.
Yeah. So share the podcast, like the podcast, and then send us your list and tell us about your cocktail party of 10 things you wish you could give someone.
I love it. We look forward to hearing from you guys.
Peace out.
Thanks for listening. We'd love it if you would like and subscribe to the podcast and then share it with the people you know. We want to include as many people as possible in the conversation. Also, be sure to check out our Got a Minute Mini podcast, which pairs funny stories with original music all in about 15 minutes. Thanks! This has been a production of Pioneer Dream.